Hello, welcome back. peerScholar Phase 2, the assess phase. All right, you've heard me talk about this a little bit, and this is kind of my thing that I really feel like while you guys are going through university at our institution, yes, we have to teach you all about our subject areas, in my case, psychology, but I also think that I would love to see it in every single course that you're in, but at least in a lot of the courses that you're in, that I would like to see you get some formal practice using critical thinking, creative thinking, communication skills, etc. These are, by the way, sometimes described as the skills of success or transferable skills. And the reason why, just to highlight and give you just a little bit of that preaching, what people value from students after they graduate. When we ask employers or other people, what are the valuable things? What they want is somebody who can be a good problem solver and innovator. Okay, and those abilities rest on your ability to think critically and to think creatively. When you combine those two, that's where problem solving and innovation comes from. They also want people who can work well with others. And that means communication skills, both your ability to express yourself, but also your ability to listen to others and learn from them, and your collaboration skills, your ability to work with others. And then finally, what they always say is they want employees who are, sometimes they use the word coachable, but the ones who care about continual growth. And there's something called metacognition, which is kind of knowing your own strengths and weaknesses. And metacognition is thought to guide our own growth. When we know our weakness, and if we don't like that weakness, we want to strengthen it, well, then we can take action to do so. But if we don't even know we have the weakness, that's not going to happen. So the peerScholar activity as a whole is meant to engage these skills, and it really starts here at this phase. So what is this phase all about? Well, you are going to, once you start going here, you're going to see 6 of your peers' compositions, and they've been randomly selected from the class. They've been presented anonymously. And what we want you to do is take on a teacher role. That is, one by one, you're going to read the composition, and we're going to have a form that we're going to ask you to fill out where you kind of analyze the composition and express your perspective to the student who wrote it. This is going to require you to think critically, to think creatively, and to communicate expressively. And you're going to do that for peer 1, and then you're going to do it for peer 2, peer 3, peer 4, etc. This is what I call the repeated structured practice. So you will find this hard work, I think, but I hope you'll also find that the kind of thinking you're doing is valuable, and you'll see that, well, the only way to get better at doing this stuff is to do it. And so that's the real idea here, is to give you guys that practice, okay? So just before you get started, I want to emphasize two kind of related points. First of all, we really see this as a pro-social activity. You've heard the term antisocial. People who do antisocial behaviors, we tend to think of crime, we tend to think of very self-serving motives, right? They're just trying to do something, and if it hurts other people, they don't care. So antisocial things break down social units. Pro-social behaviors enhance social units. They pull people together. And that's what we want this to be. So the idea is, this is you guys helping each other make your draft better, because it's your final product that'll be worth the highest grades. And so you're trying to help each other actually improve that draft to make a good final project. Okay? And so if you do that, and if they do that well for you, you'll get a better mark. Okay? So related to that, I want to stress the feedback part. When you give feedback, especially when you're trying to tell this peer how their work could be improved, we really want you to take this very seriously. Really think critically about their work. Think creatively about how they could have done things a little differently, and then express that as clearly as you can. Obviously without being insulting. Try your best to be constructive, we call it. I'm just trying to help you see ways your work can be better. But really dig into that. Your feedback will be graded. That's part of the grade. But I hope it comes from a deeper place than that. I hope it really comes from that pro-social place where you take this seriously, and you think that, hey, if I really try to give my peers good feedback, hopefully at least some of them will do the same for me. And that means in the next phase, I will have great feedback to use to improve my work. Okay, so I ask you to really be conscientious about this and take this phase as seriously as possible and give each of these 6 peers the kind of feedback you wish your teachers gave to you. Cool? Okay, so just close these instructions out. You should also read the other instructions that are certainly on Quarkus and possibly right below this video if I pull that off. But that's the sort of framing I would like you to have as you go into this and give one another feedback. All right, cool.